So I got a neat little toy here that I just happened to see on the interwebs, and it's from the same maker that makes Lock and Lube. So it's a quick detach, secure little dewey that you use for your grease guns. So when you go on to the grease circ, you know how the original ones, they get wore and they pop off or they spit grease everywhere, and sometimes you can get them on easily, and then you gotta fidget and fumble with the screwing the thing on, screwing the thing off so you can get it on and off a grease circ. So from the maker of that little thing, they make this little neat little lock and flate now. So this is for your inflators or your little really cool tire gauge inflator reader thingies, blah 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 type thing. Quite pricey, these little guys. These guys are like $40 a pop. So I would love to have one for each of my inflators and airline inflators and pumps and stuff like that, but just too costly for what little bit I need one. So I bought one, and I'm going to make an adapter. So off camera, I already made my adapter. So one side is quarter inch pipe thread, tapered pipe thread, and the other side is just your regular Schrader valve that you just plug in. So these little guys are for dually wheels, where you prior to me chopping the end off, you just screw this one end to your inner dually, and you got a little clip that goes on your outside dually through to one of the little holes, and then you got access to your inner dually from your outside dually, and you don't have to stick your hand through that little tiny hole to unscrew the Schrader cap and then get up in there with your contorted little air inflator things, because sometimes you know how you got them extension ones and it's got the double end just for dualies. Guess what? Sometimes they don't work very well, and you got to kind of bend it and twist it to make it work. Kind of annoying. So that's what this is. I made an adapter for it. So these little guys, these lock and flate, this is the same concept. So it's got the little quick thumb that opens up the jaws, and it latches on to the threads of your Schrader valve or your valve stem of your vehicle tire, or any tire that has, the Schraders in them. So I thought it was pretty cool. Of course, I would love to have one for each of my, like I said, each of my tools, but they're $40 a pop, and it's kind of pricey little toy to have. So just like the lock and lube, you squeeze this little lever here, and it opens up the jaws. You stick it in, and then you release the thing, and it locks on to the Schrader. So just to demonstrate, here's your Schrader, or your valve core, or your tire stem, and you squeeze the trigger, opens up the jaw, you stick it in, and it locks. And it should not let air in, because this whole thing in here is spring loaded, and I felt it push in. So see how long that is? Of course, normally most of your Schrader valves, you only get about that much. So this is specialized, and just to show you, you can see the end, how far you can actually stick that in there to get it to have a nice seal. So pretty cool. And of course, if you want to rip it out, you can rip it out, but should have enough tension to air up without you having to constantly put pressure on it and to air up. So pretty cool. So this little guy comes in two flavors. This one is the closed one. And what they mean by closed is that in the center here, see that little dewey in the center? That has to push on the center of your valve stem to get it to engage and let the air in. So on a package, you'll see closed or open. So I got the closed just because that's what we're all used to, because most of these little things are closed system. So the open one, it's literally open from front to back. You can actually see right through the center of it. So no matter what your situation is with your backside of your inflator, it's either going to let air in or it's going to let air out. That's just the way it is, and it's up to you, your preference, whether you want a closed one or an open one. So all I got to do for this little guy, my little adapter, is screw it to the adapter. And normally you want to use pipe thread or pipe dope and give it a nice seal job, and then use the proper tools to tighten it up to your specifications. So to me, that's tighten up. So now I'm ready to attach it to either an inflator or a cordless one. So my professional one is this one from Astro Tools. Now this one did have a quick detach type end on it, where you push the little lever and it was just like a little foot, and you would push it onto your valve stem and then hope that it would stay. It never stayed. It was kind of annoying. You always had to give it a little push to keep it on there to air up. So I swapped it out for these little screw-on ones. And these are closed too, because you can see the dewey in the middle. So you screw this onto the valve stem to give your secure airing without having any air leaks. So kind of like that. And then, of course, when you unscrewed it, you always get that little psst until you're totally disengaged. So since this is an adapter, now I can screw this like I just did, and I can always have this, because this is usually, when I got my airline out, this is my go-to. Or if I need a lot of volume, I'll go to this one. And now I can just go to my wheels and we'll have a little demo too. So this is my go-to job, but right now I don't have any of my air compressors charged up or anything like that, or airlines ready to go. So we'll use my little Melif cordless inflator. And of course, you're all familiar with these things too, which do work, but even these little guys, depending on how well it's made, can leak air. Even if you fully engage it and pop it, it still leaks air. So we'll put this on this little dewey, and now we got a nicer end. Of course, for me, this is an adapter, so you got to keep it somewhere where you know where it is. So let's go out and test it out on a tire and see how well it does. So stay tuned for that clip. So now we're out in the vehicle area, and we got our little valve stem here. We're going to untake our little old man valve cap here that tells you whether it's green or good. And now we're going to use our little lock and flate, and we're going to put some air in these tires. So all you got to do is push down on the lever, stick it on the valve stem, let go, and as you can hear, I'll put the mic right up next to it. There's no air leaks coming back out of the tire. So now we can use our little cordless dewey here and set the pressure here. So we'll go up to 40, because now that it's starting to get cooler. I think every 10-degree drop you lose 1 psi. So now that we're heading into winter, we will set our pressure to 40. I'm currently at 37, and we're going to squeeze the trigger. 40, and now just to get it off the tire, just squeeze the trigger, and just easy as that. Very simple, very fast, and efficient. Let me put our little cap back on. We can go to the next tire. Let's go to the next tire. And then once again, just squeeze our little lever here and give it a trigger. This one I'm still already up to 40. And now we'll go to our second to last tire. Now when you're airing up your tires, don't forget about your spare. If you have a spare, and in my case, it's a full-size spare. So we got to get underneath. Because you won't be able to see very well. See, set you up over here. So there's the tire. And where's the valve stem? Way in the back. So something like this would be very handy when you just have to get up under there. So there. How easy and quick. A little lock and flate makes everything easier. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.